It's not a Kundalini rising or a Kundalini activation, but we're charging the body with chi and prana so that if a Kundalini rising was ever to happen, then it would be a safe process. It wouldn't create a psychosis or depression. The word Kundalini is used a lot today, and sometimes it's good just to build a different vocabulary around it. So I'm going to give you my definition, and a lot of other people will have different ways of explaining this energy, this phenomena. Very simply, it's consciousness rising in your body to experience reality from a higher level, a higher dimension. You experience reality from this higher dimension, if you want to call it fifth, sixth, seventh, doesn't matter. And then eventually you come back into your body, into the third, fourth dimension that we live in, 3D objects moving through time and space in separation with a limited sense of self and an ego. So these experiences of higher dimensional consciousness in our body are gifts, and then it's our job to ground these gifts into reality. So what we're learning to do in Kundalini Bodywork is to ask the question, why do we not already have a Kundalini rising? Why do we not already have these higher states of consciousness grounded in our body? And in asking these questions, we start to identify the traumas and the blocks, the emotional pain, sometimes the physical pain that stops us from experiencing higher dimensional states of consciousness. Then we charge the body with chi and prana with a very clear intention to help remove these blocks, to strengthen our aura, to make our chakra system healthy and positive so we can give and receive energy in abundance. So learning to bring higher dimensional energies into our body, to have a Kundalini rising experience, is not a demonic, satanic process like so many of the comments allude to. I guess it potentially could be if somebody had a very mal and bad intention, but in the work we do, it's just completely the opposite. It's so far from what many people accuse it to be. Often the movements can sometimes look violent, and we never keep somebody in these violent movements for very long. It's for the movements and the pain to teach us where the block is. That is a large amount of energy moving through the body and then hitting against the blocks in your spine, in your chakra system, because you're not ready for that energy to surge through. So we're just using energy to help us find where the blocks are in the body, and then a mixture of movement, of non-dual psychology, of a kind of talking therapy from a non-dual perspective, working with the polarity framework, masculine, feminine integration within ourselves. We start to learn what we need to do and how we need to grow and evolve as a human being to take these blocks away, to allow more energy to run up through us and allow more divine consciousness to come into us. Again, to ground this energy on earth. This is what humanity really needs. It needs the process of non-resistance, non-attachment to what's going on in our body, with the desire for a peaceful, beautiful, sustainable earth, one that we want to be born back into. So we're learning to purify our desires through body work, and then to manifest our desires through our body. That's what our body does. If we talk about the law of manifestation and vibration, this is all about using the vibration, the frequency in our body to create and project onto the world we want to live in. So when we live in a world with war and greed and violence and lust and negativity, this is the world we create, because this is the vibration in our body, this is the vibration in our collective consciousness. So we just come to a very foundational, fundamental level of how do we change the vibration in our body holistically, through breath, with sound, with movement, emotionally, mentally, physically, eventually spiritually, but it's all spiritual. We're learning to bring spirit into our body to have a better connection with our soul. Often these are all words and semantics, and people will attach different meanings to the word spirit or different meanings to the word soul, or argue if it's polarity or if it's duality. These are all important concepts for our mind, but we should never be so attached to anything that is logical as an ultimate truth, because ultimate truth is beyond logic. All the people in this training have very different backgrounds. Some of them are therapists and teachers. Others have just come for their own personal development. They have trauma that they would like to transform, and they understand that it is possible to do this work alone, but it can be very beneficial to do it in a group of like-minded people, all working on themselves. Ultimately, we're learning to heal ourselves while we hold space for other people to heal themselves. It's a very empowering process. I personally believe most healing, other than surgery and things like that, should be self-healing. We should always be engaged in our process to greater health. So to me, Kundalini Bodywork is just a beautiful practice that leads us through self-transformation into planetary transformation.